My name is Greg Ayer, and I'm a volunteer with the Veterans History Museum of the Carolinas here in Brevard. On behalf of the museum and the Korea Center of Greenville, I would like to welcome you to this Korean War 75th anniversary ceremony. Today, June 21st, is 4 days before that date in 1950, when North Korea savagely attacked South Korea. We are gathered here to express our respect and gratitude to three groups. First, to the nearly 2 million American veterans who fought in the early 1950s to preserve the existence of the Republic of Korea. There are Korean War veterans from North Carolina and South Carolina in attendance with us here today. They're seated in the front rows of the auditorium, and we will introduce them individually in just a few minutes. Second, we're here to express our respect and gratitude to the additional 2.5 million American men and women who have deployed to the Republic of Korea since the end of the war. They went and they succeeded in keeping the peace. Some of them are in attendance today also. Finally, we're here to express our admiration and appreciation to the people of South Korea, who, with our help, prevailed against a monstrous attack in 1950 and went on to build what today is one of the most vibrant economies and free democratic societies in the world. Even 75 years after the cataclysmic war on the Korean Peninsula, discussions and debates over how the war was conducted, over what should have been done or should not have been done, over whether a stalemate was a victory or a defeat. Free discussion is the essence of a free society. But one fact about the Korean War is beyond debate. I'm sorry, not that slide. The fact is that the sacrifice of the United Nations forces, led by the United States and supported throughout by the people of South Korea, saved the Republic of Korea. Our veterans saved the future. Our veterans saved the future. Today's program addresses all three of these honored groups. First, the Korean War experience itself is represented very personally by someone on the stage, Dr. Peter Yoon, who as a boy nearly perished before he was rescued by an American artillery company and was taken into their ranks for 2 years. Dr. Yoon now is a retired professor of the University of Virginia, and he will speak to his wartime experience. Second, the post-armistice period, 1953 until today, is represented by a senior U.S. military professional, Lieutenant General John Brown, who led American soldiers on the Korean DMZ in the 1980s, and he now resides here in Brevard. General Brown is retired from the Army, and he will share his perspective on the U.S.-South Korea alliance. Third, the uniquely resilient and industrious people of South Korea are honored today by the performance of several examples of their indomitable culture, which dates back some 5,000 years. Examples of Korean dance and song will be performed by members of the Korea Cultural Center of Greenville and the Korean Cultural Center of Atlanta. I also would like to recognize the presence on our stage today of 4 leaders of the Korean American communities in North Carolina and South Carolina. Those 4 individuals are first Ms. Sarah Yoon, who is the Executive Director of the Korea Center of Greenville. Sir, if you could just give a wave. Thank you. Next, Mr. Tae-dong Han is Chairman of the Korean Association of Greenville, South Carolina. Next to him is Ms. Sarah Nam, President of the Korean Association of Charlotte, North Carolina. And finally, Mr. Young Bae is the Legislative Assistant to North Carolina State Representative Mike Clampett. Before I finish, I'd like to express our sincerest thanks on behalf of the Veterans History Museum and the Korea Center of Greenville to the Transylvania County Tourism Development Authority, which is the primary sponsor of today's event. We also are in the debt of Brevard College and its president, Dr. Brad Andrews, who have provided this beautiful venue for this historic event. And we deeply appreciate the financial and moral support we have received from the Korean War Veterans Association, Foothills Chapter number 301 of Greenville, South Carolina. Now I would like to call upon the Transylvania County Honor Guard to present and post the colors in honor of our veterans. Can you please now join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States of America? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The national anthems of the United States and the Republic of Korea will now be sung by Ms. Angela Lee of the Korea Center of Greenville.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light of the rampart we watch, wars gallantly streaming, whose first bright and bright star through the perilous fight of the rampart we watch, wars so gallantly streaming, and the rockets twinkling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say those are star-spangled banners 동해물과 백두산이 마르고 닳도록 하나님이 보호하사 우리나라 만세 무궁화 삼천리 화려강산 대한사람 대하늘로 길이 보전하세.
Thank you, Angela. Now I'd like to call on Mr. Craig Adams, the chaplain of the Transylvania County Honor Guard, to deliver the invocation for this ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, please bow your heads. Almighty and everlasting God, we humbly ask that you bless us this day as we gather in remembrance of and to honor our Korean War veterans. We also gather to remember and honor and acknowledge the people of Korea, our noble and steadfast allies for many decades. Be with us all and help us to recognize all that you do for us and make us grateful for those blessings. All this we ask in the name of your Son and our Savior, our great friend and Redeemer, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. The Honor Guard will now retire. It's now my pleasure to introduce Maureen Kopoloff, Mayor of Brevard, who will deliver welcoming remarks.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you all for coming here today for this very special commemoration. As mayor, I want to extend a special welcome to all our Korean War veterans. My brothers, you honor us with your presence here today. I also want to welcome our visitors from the Korean War Veterans Association and the Korean Center of Greenville. And I want to thank the Veterans Museum of the Carolinas for organizing this event, and thank everyone who has worked so hard to make this a special and memorable occasion. It is important to remember, to honor, and to celebrate the sacrifices, the bravery, and the legacy that came out of the Korean War. Korea is often called the Forgotten War. I am so glad that our community is committed to remembering and that we and all of our partners here today have joined on the 75th anniversary to remember. We are so fortunate to be able to gather here today to honor our veterans, those who experienced some of the most brutal combat ever required of our military. We honor and remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice and did not return. We owe them everything. We grieve with their families whose lives were ripped apart by the loss of a loved one. We honor the 7,700 Americans still missing from the Korean War. Our hearts go out to those families who have not yet had closure. We honor those who fought bravely and returned home and faced the challenge of picking up and continuing their interrupted lives. We honor our allies who stood with us in this fight for freedom, especially our Korean allies who sacrificed so much. Over 1 million South Korean military and civilians gave the ultimate sacrifice. All of these are truly heroes. Today we remember and honor not just those who fought this war, but also those who took the victory of the Korean War and worked so hard and so successfully to build a lasting legacy. Out of this war, out of these incredibly difficult conditions and brutal battles, has come the Republic of Korea, a strong, resilient nation, a strong democracy with a strong economy, a strong ally, a friend of the United States. So today is also about celebrating the resilience and the resurgence of the Korean people after the war and the creation of an enduring alliance. The city of Brevard is proud to honor both our Korean War veterans and the enduring legacy and alliance between the United States and the Republic of Korea. As a small measure of our respect and gratitude, I, Mayor Maureen Kopoloff of the City of Brevard, do hereby proclaim June 21st, 2025 as Korean War Remembrance Day throughout the City of Brevard and encourage all citizens to join me in welcoming our distinguished visitors and celebrating this important occasion. Thank you.
Maureen, thank you very much for your remarks. And now I would like to introduce Mr. Larry Chapman, Transylvania County Commissioner, who will also deliver welcoming comments.
Good afternoon. It's my distinct honor to welcome you to Transylvania County. I hope you have a good visit here. If you're visiting for the first time, we have a wonderful county here, and I encourage you to take part of all the things that we have to offer here. I want to recognize and honor the gentlemen sitting down here in front of us. These are gentlemen that raised their hand to pay the ultimate price if needed. And many of them did. As the mayor said, those that went and a lot that did not return. But I also want to recognize and honor the families. Some of the women that are here, probably the wives or what, of these veterans that went over, what you endured while they were gone, not knowing. I had the opportunity to do a short operation in Korea. I'm a retired Marine, but anyway, I admire for what that terrain is over there, what you went through. But thank you for your service to this country. Thank you for the service to your fellow veterans. And also want to recognize every veteran in this room. You're the one that guarantee the freedoms that we have to enjoy this country and everything that we have here to be thankful for. and we owe you a great deal of gratitude. As I mentioned, I spent a number of years in the Marine Corps, and the Marine Corps played a pretty big part in that war. And I see we have a Marine over here, Semper Fi, brother. So thank you for your service. But when I first went to OCS many years ago, it was drilled in our head about the Korean War and one of the Marine Corps heroes of that war. And his name at that time was Colonel Chesty Puller. Many of you might have served with him or knew of him. Colonel Puller, who retired as a lieutenant general later on, he's the most decorated Marine in Marine Corps history. And he earned a lot of those decorations in Korea, fighting alongside these gentlemen here. He was best known for his operation at the Chosin Reservoir, the frozen Chosin as we drilled in our head. But the thing that he had 5 Navy Crosses. If you're not familiar with the Navy Cross, that's just one below the Medal of Honor. And us Marines, we couldn't figure out why he didn't take those 5 and turn them in for 1 Medal of Honor. But anybody that gets 5 of those, they certainly deserve something. But the thing that he is known for is this saying. And this was when they were in the Chosin Reservoir. He said, "We've been looking for the enemy for a long time. Now we finally found them. We are surrounded." He said, "That is an opportune time. It simplifies things. We can attack in any direction." So that gives you what these men here, the dedication that they had to the service of their country and all that. Now I'd like to introduce a special friend of mine and a special person that helps represent this district down in North Carolina in the state legislation. This is Mr. Young Bay. He is the legislative assistant for our representative, Mr. Mike Clampett. Mike sends his regards. He's had some issues and was not able to travel up here, but his heart is with us, and he may be watching a live stream. But Mr. Bay was born in South Korea, raised in Argentina, and have proudly called Raleigh, North Carolina, home since 1995. After graduating from Broughton High School, he earned a BA in political science and Spanish from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Growing up across different counties and cultures shaped his passion for public service and committed engagement. For over 17 years, he has built a career at the North Carolina General Assembly, first serving as the Assistant Sergeant at Arms, and might say that I think it was with Representative Clampett, if I remember correctly, and conducted legislative research in collaboration with local governments across the state, nonprofits, and community groups. With deep experience in government operations, constituent services, and policy analysis, he's committed to supporting the effectiveness and response governance for the people of North Carolina. I'd like to introduce Mr. Young Bay.
Thank you, Commissioner Chapman, for the introduction. 안녕하세요. Good afternoon, everyone. It's truly an honor to be here today representing Mike Clampett. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today due to his health conditions, but he sends his warmest regards and deep appreciation of this special occasion. Representative Mike Clampett has been a strong supporter of our veterans and their families, and he holds the mission of the Veterans History Museum of the Carolinas in the highest regard. This museum preserves and shares the powerful stories of those who have served, ensuring that future generations understand the true cost of our freedom. On his behalf, I'm proud to present this certificate of recognition to honor the museum's ongoing dedication to our veterans in their history. Thank you for your work, and thank you for allowing me to be part of this meaningful event.
Thank you, Larry, and thank you, Mr. Bay. Our program now turns to really the most important part, which is where we explicitly recognize and honor our Korean War veterans in attendance today. We have veterans here, as I mentioned before, from both North Carolina and South Carolina, and therefore there will be two individuals who are going to introduce them. For North Carolina, Mr. Mike McCarthy from the Veterans History Museum will make the introductions. And for the South Carolina veterans, Mr. Ulish Givens from the Korean War Veterans Association in Greenville will do the honors there. Mike, if you could start, please.
Thank you, Greg. I want to start off with Mr. J.D. Bolt, right here in the third row. Mr. J.D. Bolt, who drove a bulldozer to cut a road uphill 355 while under fire from artillery and mortars. The ambulances used that road to evacuate the wounded. And for bravery under fire, Sergeant J.D. Bolt was awarded the Bronze Star. Of course, it runs in the family. His brother, Mr. Irby Bolt, right here, was in the 2nd Infantry Division, which pushed the North Korean Army back to the 38th parallel. While he was with an Army resupply truck carrying artillery shells, he was wounded by shrapnel when a pressure mine exploded under the truck and blew him into the field, and he had to be treated for his shrapnel wounds. Mr. Irby Bolt. And here we have possibly the oldest person here, 102. Anybody beat that? 102. Mr. Joe Cooper served in the U.S. Navy during World War II as a gunner's mate, and he survived a kamikaze attack that sank his ship, the USS Omni Bay, and then he survived 5 hours in shark-infested waters before he and then, when he came home, was out of the Navy, he joined the Army. And he served in the Berlin Airlift, and then he volunteered to go into combat in Korea with the 7th Infantry Division, and he served in places, famous places like Heartbreak Ridge and the Punch Bowl, and helped take Charlie Mountain back from the Chinese. Mr. Joe Cooper. Now we have Mr. Milt Fletcher, right here, who served in the U.S. Army Reserves, the 184th Infantry Division in Okinawa in World War II. And then when the war ended, his unit was ordered to Seoul to receive the surrender of the Japanese at the end of the war. He witnessed the lowering of the Japanese flag in Seoul and the raising of the U.S. flag, and he continued to serve during the Korean War back in the U.S. processing recruits. So Mr. Milton Fletcher. And I didn't see him come in, but Henry Dixon, are you here? No? Okay. We'll skip over to George Saros. Where is George? Okay, here he is. George Saros was a motor machinist mate on LST 515 in World War II. He helped pull soldiers and sailors out of the burning ocean after their ships were sunk during Exercise Tiger in April of 1944, which was a practice run for the D-Day landings. And then later, he was there on Normandy Beach for the D-Day landings and subsequently made 65 crossings of the English Channel. Mr. George Saros. Beside him, Mr. Chris Lauren, who served in Korea from 1986 to 1988 in the U.S. Air Force. His father, Clinton Loren, served in the U.S. Marines. His uncle, James Loren, U.S. Army, served in both Korea during the war. And his brother, Martin, served in the Army and the DMZ. And he's got 5 more brothers, 7 in all served in the military. So, do we have any more North Carolina Korean War veterans that I've missed? Okay. Can you introduce yourself, sir?
My name is William Stocker. I served the 24th Infantry 1st Division in North Korea, and I served 21 months to the United States. Thank you.
Any other North Carolina? Yes, sir. Introduce yourself, please. Oh.
He served during the Korean War conflict. He served in Vieques, building an airstrip there. He served in Chun and in D.C. and is a very proud American.
And his name?
Eugene Morley.
Eugene Morley. Mr. Eugene Morley. Any other North Carolina?
Hello. My name's Bill Hambley, U.S. Navy, 1949, August through May 1953. I was electronics technician, mate, and served on 2 ships in the Korean area. The patrol frigate 7, the USS Albuquerque, and the destroyer Shields DD-596. And our main efforts were in supporting convoys, taking supplies between Japan and Korea, with and then a few engagements along the way with Task Force 77.
Thank you for your service, sir. Any other North Carolinians? Raise your hand. All right, so now I will pass the baton to the South Carolina folks.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lewis Gibbons. I am the current First Vice President of Foothills Chapter number 301, Korean War Veterans of Greenville, South Carolina. And please help me welcome our heroes, starting with our one and only World War II and Korean War veteran. Sitting here is Mr. Milt Gordon, United States Army, 97 years old. Next we have Mr. Conrad Nowak. He is a veteran of the Korean War. He is one of my heroes, one of my personal heroes. Thanks to him, I'm a proud member and also a proud past president of the organization. Please welcome Mr. Conrad Nowak, United States Army. Thank you. And next we have on the front row another good friend of mine, Mr. Glenn Cable, United States Navy. is Mr. Leslie Wyatt James, United States Marine. Next, we have past President Mr. Tom Comshaw, United States Air Force, another personal hero of mine. Had it not been for Tom, I wouldn't be here. He came to my house and he personally recruited me. Thank you, Tom. And next, we have a good friend of mine as well, Mr. Jimmy Harris, United States Air Force. Mr. Jimmy Harris had over 50 combat missions in the Air Force during the Korean War. Next, we have one of the funniest guys in the organization, Mr. Billy Cash, United States Navy. And last but not least, we have Mr. Timothy Tyler, United States Army, First Cavalry Division. Ladies and gentlemen, those are my heroes of the Foothills Chapter 301.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Mike and Yulish. The program that we have in mind now takes another step to our keynote speakers who have personal experience with this entire subject that we've been talking about today. Two different perspectives, though. First, we have Dr. Peter Yoon. I mentioned earlier that Dr. Yoon was a boy during the war. Up until the outbreak of hostilities in June of 1950, he was pretty much like every Korean schoolboy. But Korean schoolboys really had a traumatic, turnaround as of June 1950. In the case of Dr. Yoon, he lost his family. He almost lost his life. He was nearly frozen and starved to death when he came into the presence of a U.S. heavy mortar company that he's going to tell you about. That experience saved his life and changed his life. Ultimately, he came to the United States because he met a U.S. Air Force chaplain who must have seen something, in this young man, because he said, you really need to come to the States. And he did, and the rest is history, with Dr. Yoon having earned 3 university degrees, including a PhD in economics from the University of Georgia. He's an ordained Baptist minister, and he recently retired from 32 years of professorship at the University of Virginia at Wise. An incredible story by anyone's standards. My head is still spinning. I first spoke to Dr. Yoon in January. I met him a couple of times, and every time it's like more of a wow experience. So now today, you are blessed with an opportunity to hear a part of his story directly from him. And so I'll pass the microphone. Dr. Yoon, if you could come to the speaker, please.
Thank you, Mr. Ayer. This is a Korean War 75th Remembrance celebration. So the General Brown honored the veterans, active service members of United States of military service, and honored guests. I'm very pleased to participate with you this wonderful celebration. Mr. Greg Ayer at the Brevard Museum of Veterans so effectively organized. My role this afternoon is to praise and honor the Lord Jesus Christ, who poured out on my life his love and mercy, and witness for his good news, so that who are listening may have a greater hope in God and our Creator. And the second point I'm supposed to do, honor and express my gratitude to veterans, just like we recognized a few minutes ago. And it is really amazing. So this is my first experience honoring veterans. So this is a really moving and amazing experience. So I sincerely appreciate all the veterans and your sacrifices and your dedication for the great country and the mightiest and the blessed country in the world, United States of America. I want to at least mention the Korea Center, Mrs. Sarah Yoon. We go our acquaintance a long time. So she's been one of the person who brought me so much joy and happiness and increased my faith in God. And today, I am sort of overwhelmed when Chaplain Till, United States Air Force, brought me to 1962. He and his family greeted me to my final destination from Korea to Pennsylvania, Pensacola, Florida, and they came. But at that time, oldest son was 5 years old, Reggie, and second, Danny, and the third, Larry, and the fourth son, John Till. So they surprised me. They want to come see their Korean brother today, my presentation, so they can grade their brothers, so that whether he should continue talking or don't talk. So they all came, 4 brothers and their wives, and then the nephews and niece we have. So Reggie, through John, and you all get up and let the people know. The chaplain who brought me to U.S. Always out of a blue sky, he says, you got to live with your religion every day. Well, that's what we practiced. So 4 brothers, all their families, nieces, nephews, we love each other. We don't fight each other. We love each other. And this is a really moving experience for them. So at least I told Reggie how I got my name, Peter. When I came, the chaplain and Tallahassee church pastor and Reggie, 5 years old, and 4 of us in that small Triumph automobile. And coming up to Franklin Springs, Georgia, we passed Athens, where University of Georgia is. And between that 30-mile distance, chaplain suggested it's better you to have American name because Subiang is a little bit difficult for Americans pronounce. So let's have an American name. I said, any Christian name except Judas be all right. So we were discussing what kind of a name we want to have. So Reggie, 5-year-old Reggie, who has a CPA firm right now in North Carolina, he said, how about the Peter? So I said, that's good. So we reached Emmanuel College. It was a two-year college